So a few days back, I received a call from one of the platforms. I had taken a subscription of that platform for marketing of my business somewhere last year. The results were not good, hence I decided to cancel it. So while I received the call from their representative, they started the discussion by asking me about why I have not renewed the subscription. And as soon as I started talking about it, they cut me in between. They didn't want to listen to what I was saying, and instead, they started pitching me about their new plan. They started pitching me about why their platform was good and started selling their services to me once again. This really put me off. I disconnected the phone and the discussion ended there. A couple of days later, again, I received a similar kind of a call. They asked me for my experience. They said, "Sir, we want to have feedback from you." And as soon as I started, again, the same process repeated. They did not want to listen to me, and instead, they just wanted to sell what they have to offer. So that's incident number one. Now let me share with you incident number two. I received a call from someone. This gentleman wanted his son to be coached by me. He asked the price for my services. I just simply requested him to let me talk to his son for an intro session so that I can understand what is the requirement of his son and whether I can fulfill it or not. The gentleman in question was a little apprehensive because he said that you gave me the code and then we can start with the sessions directly. Why you need to meet for intro session, or if at all you need to meet for intro session, please do it complimentary. As a rule, I don't offer any free sessions, whether it's a coaching session or an intro session. I charge for them, and there is a reason for it. Any which ways, coming back to the incident, so this thing continued for at least 4-5 days. This gentleman used to call me at odd hours, requesting me to take the session, not charge for it. So finally, this gentleman decided to pay for my fees, and he brought his son to my office. I had a session with him. It was good 90 minutes interaction that I had with him. And later on, I informed this gentleman that maybe coaching is not going to help your son. He was a little surprised because before coming to me, he had been to some other professionals as well, and they had assured him that coaching can help him. So he asked me, like, why do you say so? I told him that for the 90 minutes that we were together, I spoke for just 10 minutes, and the 90% of the time, it was your son who was okay. And by just listening to him, I could ascertain what is the real problem, what you are experiencing it, what you are seeing as a father are just the effects. What he's considering is the real problem is not the real problem. In fact, it is much bigger than that. And as a coach, I can't help him. After listening to me, this gentleman was surprised, and later he thanked me. He said that I am so glad that you gave me the real picture, did not pitch the wrong thing, and gave me the true advice which could help him. Now, what is the interconnection between these two incidents? So if you look at it, in the first incident where the platform customer service team was reaching out to me for offering their services, they were not willing to listen to me. They did not want to understand what's my requirement and what is my pain point. In the second incident, when I was dealing with my client, I insisted on understanding the client's pain point before offering my services, and when I realized that I was not in a position to help them, I clearly said no. The key difference in the two situations is the willingness and ability to listen. Listening was the key difference in these two situations. If you look at it, while growing up, which is the first skill that we learn? Is it reading? Is it writing? Or is it speaking? I'm sure you would agree it's the listening. The first skill that we learn during our growing up year is nothing but listening. It is widely ignored skill when it comes to communication. I get hordes of messages where people reach out to me. They want to perfect their public speaking. They want to work on their communication skills. They want to improve their speaking. But I rarely find anyone who reaches out to me asking that I want to become a better listener. And this is one of the crucial problems which is existing in today's age of information. Everyone wants to be heard, but nobody wants to be listened to. And if the situation persists, who is going to listen to us? We will be having all speakers, but no listeners. And therefore, this video. So before moving forward, hi friends, my name is Lalit Ondlani. I am a life and executive coach, corporate trainer, motivational speaker, and a best-selling author of multiple books on Amazon. This video is a part of my series on life hacks, where I talk about certain topics which help us in living a better quality of life. This video is about listening and the power of listening. Let's move forward. So now let's get back to the topic. So you may say that these could be isolated incidents as well, but may not be presenting the true picture or the complete picture. Let me share with you. In my profession as a coach, as an assessor, most of the time, what I do is just listen. And 80% of the time, I end up listening, and it helps in getting people results. So the power of listening cannot be undermined at all. So if you look around, we are all complaining. A boss is complaining that the team member is not listening. The team member is complaining that the boss is not listening. Because neither of them is listening to each other, hence there is a lot of disconnect in the relationship between a manager and a subordinate. Let's talk about couples. Always complaining, my wife doesn't listen to me and my husband doesn't listen to me. There is a strain in relationship because they are not listening to each other. Look at the families. Parents complaining, children don't listen to us. Children saying, parents don't listen to us. Again, a lot of disconnect, dysfunctional families because of this listening. We don't listen to our bodies and we don't listen to what experts say, and therefore we compromise on our health. We spoil our health. Internationally, you look at whatever big problems are happening into this world because the nations are not listening to each other. Look at the political parties. Nobody wants to listen to other. Everybody just wants to talk, and talk. So in the absence of good listening skills, what is it that we can see? Utter chaos. And if we have to come out of this chaos, we have to be good listener. Let me also take it further. Consider you become a good listener. What is it that happens? What kind of benefits can accrue to you? See, the power of listening is immense. And let me highlight 3 key benefits which can accrue to you if you are a good listener. Number 1, good listening helps you in understanding others. As I shared earlier, when we are not able to listen to others, we don't understand the other's perspective. When we don't understand the other's perspective, we stick to what we know. We stick to what we think is right. And if everybody thinks that what they are thinking is only the right thing, there isn't going to be any solution to that situation. So that's number 1. Number 2, it helps you negotiating better. If you are a salesperson, if you are a businessman who wants to offer your service, or say if you are an employee who wants to negotiate better salary, unless you listen, how would you understand what is the real need of the organization? If you don't understand the real need of the organization, how you will be able to offer what is it that you can add in terms of value? And if you don't connect what you have to offer and what the company is requiring, how do you get the salary which you require? And the same thing holds true for a client and a salesperson. Unless a salesperson listens to the client, how will they know that what's the real pain point, what's the real problem which the customer is facing, and how their product or service can help the customer in solving that problem? So that's number 2, which is negotiation. And number 3 is you can get people to say yes. Once you listen to them, you are able to understand them better. You empathize with them. That's where you will be able to elicit a yes from them because they want to be heard. The way you want to be heard, everybody wants to be heard as well. Now, the option lies, you wait for others to listen to you, or you take the lead, you listen to them, and then take the things forward. I hope it's making sense to you. So these are the 3 key benefits of power of listening, which are gets to understand others, it helps you in negotiating better, and it gets yes from others. Now, if that be the reason, if it is so powerful, why nobody is listening? What is the possible reason? And how do we ensure that we become better listener? Now, let me share the 2 reasons and also the 2 solutions. So the number 1 reason why we don't listen or why we are not a good listener lies within us only, which is our head is full of too many things. We are living in an age of distraction. There are so many things going into our mind that even when we are getting into an interaction with someone, we are engaging with someone else, we are too much into our thoughts. So what is it that we are doing? We are waiting for other person to finish so that we can say what we have to say. Even if we are sitting quiet for some time, paying attention to others, in our head we are thinking, once this person stops, what is it that I am going to say? How am I going to react or respond? So that's number 1, which is too much of chaos within our mind. And this leads to the second problem, which is focus on ourselves. So if you look at it, even when we are interacting with someone else, we are thinking aloud into our head, what is it that we are doing? We are focusing on ourselves, not the other person. So how to get rid of this problem? Again, 2 solutions. Number 1, prepare. So if you look at it, before I get into any coaching session with my client, I prepare myself. How do I prepare myself? If there are too many things going into my mind, I take them out of my head. So for example, right after shooting this video, I am going to have a coaching session with one of my clients. So I wanted to prepare a video on this topic because I felt there was a need of it. So before getting into the session, I decided, let me have this video ready so that this topic is out of my mind, which is going into my mind since today morning, so that once I am with my client, I am totally with her. So that's number one, which is prepare. Prepare by taking out what is it that is into your mind. Take it out. You may write it down. You may discuss it with someone so that you create that space into your head, which is very crucial for you to pay attention to others. So once you have taken out whatever is there in your head, you create a space, you become receptive to what other person has to say. So that's the number one, which is preparing yourself before getting into an interaction, before meeting somebody. Because if you prepare yourself in the right manner, you know that when you are getting into this engagement, you don't have to respond to each and everything then and there. Number two is shift your focus. So as I stated earlier, in the interaction, when you are communicating with somebody else, your focus should be on the other person, what the other person is saying. And you don't just need to listen to the words, you need to listen to the feelings, you need to listen to what is being said and also what is not being said. And then only you will be able to understand real essence of what is being talked about. But if you remain focused on yourself, thinking in your mind, your next step, your next move, things are not going to work out. So when I get into my coaching sessions with people, 80% of the time, I just listen to them. And just by listening to them, I am able to understand the deeper thoughts, the deeper reasons, the causes behind the effects that they are experiencing. You can become a better listener. There are other techniques as well. So in order to be at peace, to quieten your mind, you can certainly use techniques like you doing yoga, workout, meditation. I leave that to you. Be in present and be with the person you are talking to or interacting to. Imagine a scenario where somebody gives his or her ear to you. And if you have ever experienced that, what's stopping you from becoming a good listener yourself? I leave you with these thoughts. It was pleasure interacting with you once again. If you like this video, don't forget to share your feedback in the comments below. And if you would like to work on your mind, the help of a coach, I would be happy to assist you. How you can reach out to me? Go into the description below. You will find this session link through which you can connect with me. This is Lalit Undlani signing out till we meet once again. Bye-bye.